Hello students, hope you all are fine. In the last class, we have done conservation of water and various sources of water. Today, we'll start with rainwater harvesting. In urban areas, the construction of houses, footpaths, and roads has left very little space for the water to soak in. In parts of the rural areas of India, flood water quickly flows to the rivers, which then dry up soon after the rain stops. If this water can be held back by storage or by reducing the speed of the flow of water, it can seep into the ground and recharge the groundwater supply. So, this has become a very popular method of conserving water, especially in urban areas. Rainwater harvesting essentially means collecting rainwater on the roofs of building and storing it in underground for later use. It recharges the groundwater depletion and also raises the declining water table. Rainwater harvesting is essential to stop the decline in groundwater levels, arrest seawater ingress, that is, prevent seawater from moving landward, and conserve surface water to drain off during the rainy season. In India, town planners and civic authorities are introducing the laws to make rainwater harvesting compulsory. No water or sewage connection would be given if a building does not have provisions for rainwater harvesting. Such rules should be implemented in all other cities to ensure a rise in the groundwater level. The roof water harvesting system is the simple and cost effective method to conserve water. The water of first rain is allowed to pass out, and this helps in collection of clean water throughout the rainy season, as it filters the water through three stages, and then the water is stored in a clean storage tank. The water is directed from this surface to plants, trees, or lawns. There are some benefits of rainwater harvesting, as it increases the water availability and provides the cleanest water for drinking. It checks the declining water table. It is eco-friendly. It improves the quality of groundwater as it helps in dilution of fluoride, nitrate, and lastly, it prevents soil erosion and flooding, especially in urban areas. So, these are some benefits of rainwater harvesting. Next topic is reducing water demand. Simple techniques can be used to reduce the demand for water by improving the efficiency of water conservation and by reducing the wastage of water due to evaporation. We can improve availability of water. There are numerous methods to reduce such losses and to improve soil moisture. The first one is mulching. It is the application of organic or non-organic material such as plant debris, compost, etc., which slow down the surface drain off, improves the seepage and soil moisture. It reduces evaporation losses and improves soil fertility. More land should be given away to farmers, and they should be encouraged to sow and harvest all round the year, as soil are covered by crops slows down the drain off and minimizes the evaporation losses. Next is plowing, as it helps to move the soil around. As a result, it retains more water and helps in reducing evaporation. Shelter belts of trees and bushes along with the edge of agriculture fields slow down the wind speed and reduce evaporation and soil erosion. Planting of trees, grass, and bushes breaks the force of rain and helps rainwater to penetrate into the soil. Fog and dew contains water that can be saved through netting surface traps or polythene sheets. The water gets trapped in these sheets when exposed to fog and dew. The resulting water can be used for crops. Salt resistant varieties of crops have been developed, which makes the plants grow in saline areas. As a result, overall agriculture productivity is increased. So, this is also a good method for conserving water. Contour farming can be used for complete use of rainwater and farming. It is adopted in hilly areas and in lowland area for paddy fields. Farmers recognize the efficiency of this method for conserving soil and water. Special feature of this method is that the land is plowed in steps instead of continuous plain land, and this allows water conservation and complete use of rainwater in farming, and it also prevents the soil erosion and water flowing away. The water travels through many steps of farm slowly, and the water seeps into the strips completely, and thereby floods are also prevented by using this type of farming. Next is transfer of water from surplus area to deficit areas by interlinking water systems like canals. Desalination technologies such as distillation, electrodialysis, and reverse osmosis can also be used. Use of efficient water systems like drip irrigation and sprinklers will reduce the water consumption by plants. A new concept of vertical gardening has also come up these days, which employs the use of minimum space with pots arranged in vertical positions, that is, one above another. This method helps in saving water and compost and can be adopted for kitchen gardens as well. So, these are some methods which help in reducing water demand. Next one is role of sanitation and hygiene. Sanitation. Cleanliness and sanitation is very important for good health of family members. Families would like to have a house in clean and hygienic surroundings, away from breeding places of bacteria and germs. The general locality should be clean with no possibility of stagnated water, dumping of garbage, and proximity of slums. The house should be planned in such a way that there is a provision for proper lighting and ventilation. It should be made of such material which are easy to clean and maintain. Instead of moldings or corners, there should be smooth finishes and rounded corners which helps to maintain cleanliness. Proper sloping of floors and well-planned drainage system should be there, which helps in keeping the place dry and clean. Next one is hygiene. A healthy and adequate housing includes facilities for personal and domestic hygiene, and the people should also be educated in hygienic practices. There should be proper waste disposal facilities. Body cleanliness is very important, especially washing hands. We should always wash our hands after playing with pets, using the bathroom, after sneezing or blowing off your nose or coughing, touching a cut or open sore, after playing outside, after and before eating. So we should always wash our hands. Personal hygiene would be easy to promote if there is adequate supply of water with proper disposal system. Food should be cooked and stored carefully. If the food is badly stored and carelessly displayed, it will lead to the growth of pests. Rural families who are engaged in animal husbandry are also exposed to health hazards. Inadequate and improper disposal of animal waste leads to the development of pathogens and increase difficulty in maintaining cleanliness. Animals must be kept at a distance from the dwelling, and pets must also be kept pest free so that the chances of transmission of disease, especially to the children and old age people, is reduced. Availability of hygienic facilities influences the personal and domestic hygiene to a great extent. It is very important to educate people about the best use of existing hygienic facilities to protect against the diseases. So, this is the role of sanitation and hygiene in maintaining the cleanliness. So, students, today we have covered rainwater harvesting and how to reduce water demand. Then we have studied role of sanitation and hygiene in the life of an individual. So, in the end, I would like to say all these conservation tips are very important to be adopted in our life to conserve the resources, as these resources are limited in nature and be used judicially so that it can be safe for the future. Thank you.